everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on the little link there to come to my review of The Defenders. Now, before I even get into this review, I gotta ask you a question. Why the hell do supervillains keep trying to attack New York? I mean, New York, Christ, it's the hub of superheroes. You got the Avengers, Spider-Man, X-Men, Fantastic Four, the Defenders. Like, Doctor Doom, go fight in, like, Seattle or somewhere. It's fine. You'll be fine. Now, all that aside, here's my review for The Defenders. I'm going to try to not give any spoilers away because I really do want people to watch this show, especially if you liked all the other Netflix Marvel shows that came before it. So here's my review. It's good. It's good. You should go watch it. It's fun. Have fun with it. Oh, I guess, okay, I'll elaborate a little bit more than that, okay? So, obviously, The Defenders is the culmination of all the foreign Marvel Netflix shows coming together to make one big, happy, dysfunctional family. And I like it. It's really good. It feels good. It feels legit. And the biggest thing that I think that this show does is it creates an interesting contrast. Because the Defenders are obviously going up against the Hand. Now, not to give really anything away, the Hand is up to shit, and the Defenders have to stop them. And it's a very interesting contrast. It's very subtle, but it's very clear at the same time. Because we have the Hand, right? We have the fingers of the Hand. God, it feels so stupid saying that. We've seen in the trailer Sigourney Weaver, and she to me is she's the thumb. She's the thumb of the Hand. Because without her, it's like hard to pick shit up. It's hard to like use a spoon. So she's what really keeps the Hand kind of working as intended. And then on the other hand, you have the Defenders, which is this very dysfunctional group of B-list superheroes. Now on the Hand side, they're all out for the same goal. I'm not going to say what that goal is because that's a spoiler. But they're all out for the same goal. However, there is dissension within the Hand. People are out for their own kind of agendas. They have their own ways of getting to that particular goal. So there is an interesting dynamic within the Hand that everybody's just kind of out to stab each other in the back. Where the Defenders, on the other hand, are able to put aside their egos, able to put aside their differences to come together as a team of very different people to take on the Hand. Now, the great thing with the Defenders themselves is I really like how each one of them really does represent a certain part of the team. For example, Jessica Jones to me represents the wit and the kind of sass of the team, where Luke Cage represents the empathy and the humanity of the team. Like, he cares about pretty much everything and everyone. Where Daredevil is the courage. He is the ultimate sacrifice that a hero sometimes has to make. Where Iron Fist is kind of that childlike, naive streak, because he really is the kid of the group. With all that being said, they really do come together to create an interesting dynamic. One that I actually like a little bit more than, say, the Avengers. I like that the Defenders feels legit, and I'll get into that in just a minute or two. But there's another character that is in the Defenders, and it's not a spoiler because we know it's there, is Elektra. I really, really like how they use Elektra here. I like that she's finally that ass-kicking assassin. She is so badass in this season. It works beautifully, and I'm hoping that we see more of her, and maybe in the next season of Daredevil, we'll maybe see Bullseye come in. Maybe, fingers crossed. Another nice thing that the Defenders does is it has a lot of the side characters from all the other respected shows make little cameos and appearances to kind of branch out and link everything together. So again, it has that really nice, legit feel to it. Now, a question that I'm often asked about the Defenders is, hey, if I haven't seen the other 4 seasons, or 5 seasons if you want to include season 2 of Daredevil, am I going to be lost? And the short answer is probably. Because there is a lot of side plots and different story arcs that do come together in the Defenders. If I hadn't seen Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, I would never have known that they got together and hooked up. It's implied, but I probably wouldn't have known that. So you might want to watch the other seasons first or at least watch like some different synopsis of them so you get like a general idea of what's happened and what's gone on. That's just my little advice going into this. As fun as The Defenders is, it does have its share of little problems, and these are little nitpicky things. For one, it does have a slow start, and I usually feel that any show, the first season is always kind of not the best. Because you have to set up characters and villains and plots, and you just got to get the storyline running, so that way season 2 comes around, everything's already going. But this show falls into like a weird category, because we already have a bunch of seasons leading into this. So, the first, I say 3 episodes are kind of a slow burn, but it makes sense. It doesn't have the biggest, fastest start, and it does make sense that everything does have to come together organically, so that kind of by the 4th episode, it really does like hit the ground running, and that's when we start getting a lot of cool action and a lot of cool, funny banter between all the characters. And that's where I really started to just dig and enjoy this show. Another one of the little problems that I have with this is there was an inconsistency with the powers. And I had this problem with Jessica Jones, where, like, for her, for example, she's like fighting a bunch of dudes from the hand, but she's having like a problem like holding them back. Like she's like fighting like one guy, and she's like having a struggle with this guy. But I'm like, you can like pull a car across the street. You can like rip a metal grate off a wall and like bend it like nobody's problem. So why are you having trouble with like one ninja guy? And when you punch somebody, I get that she's probably pulling her punches, but even Luke Cage's, and when he hits somebody, they like fly across the room. But with her, it felt like, okay, she gets punched, she's knocked out, but in the season with her, she gets hit by like a truck, and then 2 seconds later she gets up and she's completely fine, and she just walks it off. So it felt like there was a little bit of inconsistency with like the super strength characters, but obviously that's going to be kind of hard to do because you don't have the biggest budget in the world. But I hope they kind of fix that problem going into the next season. As I said, the final, I would say 4 episodes are really good. They are really strong. It brings everybody together. It has them square off against the hand in a very interesting and fun way. And I really like it. And that's the big thing that The Defenders and all these Netflix shows really do, is it keeps the consistency of the theme, and that's what I like. It isn't a cosmic thing like Guardians of the Galaxy. It isn't a mystical, magical thing like Doctor Strange. And there is a little bit of magic in The Defenders, but it's not overpowering. And that's why I actually really like The Defenders more than I like The Avengers, because it feels legit, because they make it feel legit. People are getting their heads cut off, stabbed through the chest, arms cut off. There's violence here. It feels real. It actually feels like there's a connection to reality, more so than fighting a robot guy. Like, look at The Wolverine, the second Wolverine movie. It has a very deliberate pace to it. It has a very realistic feel, and then he fights a giant robot guy at the end, and it ruins it. And I'm so glad that The Defenders doesn't do that. Going forward with these Netflix shows, I'm really hoping that we do get more. I'm hoping that we get The Punisher. I need some more Punisher in my life. I'm hoping that we do get Moon Knight or Blade, because I think this opens the door for a lot more of these kind of B-list characters to be brought into the mainstream. And that way, season 2 of The Defenders, and when it inevitably comes out, we're going to have more characters to kind of play around with, and I'm very excited for that. In the grand scheme of things, I would say that Defenders, for me, was my second favorite Netflix Marvel series show. Daredevil being number 1, Defenders being number 2, Jessica Jones being number 3, Luke Cage number 4, and Iron Fist number 5. I'm really hoping that they do fix Iron Fist, because they're really pushing him in the Defenders to be this really kind of badass character, but for some reason with him it's not sticking with me. Like, I've never been inspired to go out and buy like Iron Fist comics or something, where with Jessica Jones, like, I'm researching her, I want to learn more about her character, but with like Iron Fist I'm kind of like, eh. So I think they do need to fix it, and I'm hoping they do kind of link him up with Luke Cage and do kind of Heroes for Hire, because I think that's where he's going to be the most interesting. So if you haven't checked out The Defenders yet, I highly recommend it. It does have a little bit of a slow burn, but man, it does kick off, and it has a great finale and a great ending to it. And it makes me excited. It makes me want more. And I'm glad about that, because I love when a show makes me crave more. So hopefully you'll check it out. You'll like The Defenders as much as I did. And leave me a comment below. Let me know what you thought of it. As always, thank you so much for watching my review here. Don't forget to like this video, share it if you did like it. Always feel free to leave me a comment, let me know what you thought of this review. Give me your review of The Defenders or any of the other Marvel Netflix shows as well. So thank you again so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well for all the latest reviews that we're going to be doing and all the gaming that we do here on Tender Gaming as well. And as always, I will see you all in the very next episode when we do more reviews, more gaming, all that good stuff for you guys. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.